If you're a Tesla driver, you might soon be paying more than someone with a petrol car, and it's happening sooner than you think. I'll explain why, and if you stay to the end, I'll reveal how some drivers could avoid the biggest part of this new charge. The UK government has announced a major shift in the 2025 autumn budget. From 2028, electric cars, including Teslas, will face a brand new tax system.
Does mean that I've had to increase taxes in the budget this year, but I am determined to defy those forecasts, to grow the economy, to bring the revenue in through economic growth and more good jobs paying decent wages.
For the first time, electric vehicles will pay a per-mile charge. That's similar to fuel duty, but designed specifically for electric and hybrid cars. This marks a dramatic pivot from how the government plans to raise money from drivers. Electric cars will be charged around 3 pence per hour, whilst plug-in hybrids will pay around 1.5 pence. This may not sound like much, but for anyone who drives a lot, especially Tesla drivers who usually clock up higher mileage, this could mean hundreds of pounds extra a year. And all of that is on top of the fact that high-value electric vehicles may already fall into higher tax brackets due to updated thresholds in the budget. Fuel duty has been frozen again, meaning the cost burden on petrol cars stays exactly the same. So even though electric vehicles will still be cheaper to run in many cases, the gap between electric and petrol is now narrowing. For some drivers, it might even look like petrol is becoming the more cheaper option. So why is the government doing this? The simple answer is they're running out of fuel duty revenue. As more people switch to zero-emission cars, the Treasury collects less tax from the pump. Introducing a per-mile charge is their way of replacing that money. Instead of taxing what you burn, they're now taxing the miles you drive.
We are rebuilding our economy. Over the last 16 months, we have overhauled our planning system to get Britain building, forged new trade deals with the United States, India and the European Union. Reformed our visa system to bring the brightest and the best to Britain.
But the shift has consequences. The main thing is it creates uncertainty for those thinking about making the switch to electric vehicles, therefore slowing down electric vehicle adoption. The big worry from environmental groups is that anything that makes electric vehicles less attractive could slow down the UK's progress towards net zero goals. Meanwhile, petrol and diesel cars aren't facing the same new bill. Still, the government insists that electric vehicles will remain cheaper overall, especially from home chargers. And the new threshold for expensive electric vehicles has been pushed up from 40,000 to 50,000, meaning fewer mid-priced electric cars are hit with luxury supplements. But most Teslas still sit above that line, meaning their owners will notice the impact more than others. So what does this mean in practical terms? Let's say you drive around 8,500 miles per year, which is pretty average in the UK. You could be racking up an extra £255 extra in tax under the new system. It's not massive, but it's not tiny either. And for high mileage drivers, it's much more. But the big picture is this. The government is signalling that electric vehicles are no longer going to get the generous tax treatment they once did. It also raises an important political question. Is this a fair system that makes everyone contribute equally to road upkeep? Or is it punishing the very people who switched early to cleaner transport? By the way, there's one group that's been hit even harder. Some disabled drivers on certain schemes where changes to VAT relief and leasing rules mean the total cost of upgrading to an electric vehicle could rise too. These tweaks haven't gone unnoticed and are already becoming a political flashpoint. But what about the environment? That's another big concern. The UK cannot reach its zero-emission goals without a rapid transition to electric vehicles. If this tax shows that shift, even a little, it could have long-term effects. However, if the per-mile charge stays lower than the equivalent cost of petrol fuel duty, electric cars might remain the better long-term financial and environmental choice. It all depends on how the government handles this balance in the years ahead. This new system definitely changes the economics of having a car, electric or not. For Tesla drivers, it's a major warning that the days of low-tax electric motoring are coming to an end. So how can we avoid the biggest part of this new tax when it comes in? The 3 pence per mile charge only applies to road miles recorded by the vehicle's mileage data. That means, of course, if you drive less, you pay less.
It's quite clear that the government doesn't know what it is doing. What they have announced today is completely irresponsible, given all of the announcements about all the tax rises they're going to raise. It's very clear that they're in a mess.
But more importantly, if you charge at home efficiently, avoid unnecessary long-distance travel and switch to off-peak electricity tariffs, the overall running cost of your electric vehicle can still stay lower than petrol even after the new tax hits. Plus, because the charge is per mile and not a flat fee, low mileage drivers will barely feel the difference at all. And if future incentives arrive, like discounted electric vehicle tariffs, cheaper home charging or government rebates, the impact could be even smaller. So there's no need to panic just yet. The playing field is still changing and electric vehicles aren't suddenly becoming bad value.
I know that the cost of living is still a real challenge for people, day to day, week to week, month to month, and that's why in this budget I am taking direct action to tackle the cost of living.
If you were Rachel Reeves, I'd tell you to stop spending money and start saving money and cut taxes and cut spending and sort out the welfare budget that's just got out of hand and out of control.
I do think we pay a hell of a lot of tax in the UK compared to other places. I know we have free healthcare, which is amazing, but the tax man takes a lot from us in the UK, I do think.
It feels like they're changing the goalposts quite a lot with people that have invested quite heavily in vehicles that no doubt cost a lot more money, thinking that they're going to be better off only for things to be changed might be frustrating for some.
It probably won't affect us, but I would object to it if we were in that position because, again, we've worked hard all our lives, we've paid into the system all the time, and to penalise people for trying to make their lives better, which is what I feel this government tries to do.
If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more summaries like this one.